Hello everyone and welcome back to a new episode. Today we will be looking at Nylea Keen-Eyed, 3 and green for a 5/6 indestructible enchantment god. As long as your devotion to green is less than 5, she isn't a creature. And your creature spells cost 1 less to cast, so that's going to be really important to getting all your larger creatures out. And she has a ability which is 2 and green, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, you may put it into your hand, otherwise you may put it into your graveyard. So there's a few different ways you can actually formulate this deck. I've gone for the kind of linear creature strategy, lots of creatures with lots of green pips in their mana cost. So you've got stuff like Sareth, Viper's Fang, which is really good to give your creatures Death Touch if they're tapped, and Hexproof if they're untapped. And you can untap another creature or land you controlled by paying 1. And stuff like Cavalier of Thorns, which has got 3 green pips. It's a 5/6 with reach, comes in, mill 5, put a land from those onto the battlefield, the rest into your graveyard, and then when it dies, you may exile it. If you do, put another card from your graveyard on top of your library. So the other way you could make this deck is go for more of a graveyard synergy. So you can see there with Cavalier of Thorns, you can get a card back from your graveyard. And obviously, Nylea puts cards into your graveyard. So, you know, if you did prefer the graveyard strategy, find a lot more cards to put stuff into your graveyard. And you can use a lot of other cards to try and get them back. But yeah, this deck is more just creature beat down and lots of green pips, as you can see here. But yeah, the deck list will be in the description below. But yeah, tell me how you would build this deck. Just big creatures or more graveyard recursion? So yeah, drop me a like if you like the look of the deck. And don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like this in the future. We go first against Azorius Flicker deck. Starting hand is not very good. We don't have any ramp, so we cannot keep this hand. This one is quite a bit better. We've got a bit of ramp. Ranger class is also pretty sweet. And Manglehorn might be able to destroy one of their artifacts if they play one. Okay, Gate of Istfell. So if we go for the sequence here, that means we can go for the Nylea the next turn. So let's do that. A very risky mana rock. Well, not mana rock, but ramp, isn't it? So, but yeah, let's go for Nylea. Turn 3 Nylea is not too bad. Makes our creatures 1 cheaper, which is really good. Moonblast Cleric's going to come in search for an enchantment. Put it into there. Okay, so it puts it on top of the deck. So let me guess. Elspeth Conquers. Okay, Teleportation Circle. That is quite annoying. Let's go for Ranger class. Get 2/2. And yeah, let's level it up. So if we attack with the Forest, it makes it a 3/3. So they probably won't block because they want to flicker this over and over again. So that's going to get pretty annoying pretty soon. And then next turn, they could probably get Elspeth Conquers Death or something like that, and it will get rid of the Nylea. So they've already got insanity in terms of recursion. So we need to kill the Moonblessed Cleric, essentially. That's okay, double flicker. I'm just glad it goes to the top. So what could we do here? It's a shame that Manglehorn only hits artifacts. I guess we could use the Ranger class. So we're going to set up for the following turn. Go for the Gilded Goose. Make the forest bigger just to make it harder for them. Okay, so they've sacked off that flickering over and over again. So I wonder what they're going to do now. They're going to go for Baron. So they're going to bounce my things. That's a real shame. So they're basically going to bounce my whole field. So we need to kill that now as well. Or this is going to be unbelievably unbeatable. Because next turn they're going to get Thasser and they're going to flicker 3 times. But we do have the Veil of Summer. This is going to be important, actually. Veil of Summer. So we'll go for the Arasta, which is pretty awesome. Gilded Goose. And then we can hold up the Veil of Summer. Next turn we have the Hero Intervention, which is going to be incredibly relevant. Swing with Nylea, put a counter on her, which is also great. So I feel like the pieces are coming together. Right. So we want to do Veil of Summer in response to the first Baron Flicker, don't we? Let's hope they don't have a counter spell for it. If they do, that's going to be pretty annoying. Okay, so they target the Baron with the first Flicker. Now the second Flicker hasn't gone off yet. So let's try and Veil of Summer. We draw a card, fantastic. We've got Hexproof for our whole army. Now it's looking bad for them, really bad. So we've got the Voracious Hydra. We don't even have to pay too much for that. Let's just pay 2. And we can have it fight the Baron. Fantastic. We can activate Faceless Haven and bring them the pain. Let's see if we can actually finish them off. Put the counter on the Haven because it's harder to interact with. Oh, that felt insanely brutal. Love it. Beating a blue-white control deck with green feels good. Feels really good. We go first against the Krenko Mob Boss deck, so there'll be a mono-red Goblin strategy, or they could be using a build like my old Krenko deck, and a more controlling build, so we'll see. Starting hand though is not very good. We've only got 2 lands, really, so we're going to mulligan this. This is a lot better. Got a lot of ramp. Some of you might be shouting out there on the audience, oh, don't use Mana Rocks in a green deck. It's true, but I just think, why not have Mana Rocks and Mana Dorks? It all helps. Obviously, these are a lot harder to destroy because a lot of artifact removal, especially in red. So with that in mind, let's go for the Paradise Druid first because it's got hexproof. And then next turn we could even go for Nylea. Or we could leave it tapped and then we could even go for the Froggermoth the turn after. That's going to be quite hard for them to remove. Let's hope they don't have Goblin Chainmaller because that will come in and deal 1 damage to each of the creatures. Prospector, blimey. Okay, that's going to be... So they're going to have 5 mana in the next turn. So that's not what we want to see. Let's go for the Cold Steel Heart for now. And since we've got more than enough mana the next turn for Froggermoth, we can risk tapping the Paradise Druid here. Okay, so if we don't get removal, we could be in trouble here because Krenko can already start tapping. And they return earlier than expected, which is quite scary. Well, we definitely found the way to kill Krenko. How do we want to do this? So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could go for Froggermoth and then use the inscription to fight Krenko. And I think that's going to be pretty damn good here. Because if they ever get to untap with Krenko, then we're in a lot of trouble. Especially in green, because we don't have board wipes. We are relying on pure bashing with a weird frog monster. So if you haven't seen Froggermoth, Lightning Bolt. Oh, that's very sneaky, yeah. So that obviously is enough to finish the Froggermoth. So that's a shame, because that would have been really powerful when it deals combat damage to a player, exile up to that many cards, put a counter on him for each creature exiled this way, and you gain 1 life for each non-creature. So that would have been insane versus their mono-red deck. So that is a real shame. I guess we can go for Nylea. And we might as well activate her now in case we get another 1-drop we could cast. No, we don't need that, so let's put that to the top. And yeah, sure, let's play another ramp card, because every extra green pip means Nylea comes out a bit sooner to attack and block. The Herald Horn is very powerful because it lets them lose the game. Cool, moving on to the next game then. We go first against a Toar, and our hand is actually pretty wacky because we've got the turn 1 Goose, Although saying that, we can't get the turn 2 cultivate unless we get another untapped mana source. So I think we go for the tap land first. Could be bad hand, but let's see. Gets quarter, so we go for the Gilded Goose here. Hopefully they don't have Shock or a Bowl. And yeah. So red-green, they're going to have trouble dealing with our high toughness things. Arcane Signet, so he could be an absolute mean person here. Go for the Gem Razor. And destroy their Signet. If they Bolt or Shock, that would screw us a little bit. I honestly don't get people who quit after one mana rock's been destroyed. Opponent's going to go first with Nicol, Bolas the Ravager. And that's going to be a very powerful deck, because it's one of my favourite decks, so I know exactly what's going to happen here. And our starting hand is kind of on the verge of being really good, because we've got quite a bit of ramp, so I do want to keep it. I'm going to risk it. Okay, so we found our third land, so that's good. If they play a rock next turn, we could Broken Bond it. Oh, no rock. Okay. So let's see what terrors await us here. Discovery, so it looks like they need a land drop. So the fact they've got Narset sleeves indicates they mean business. So it's definitely a discard kind of deck, because they've got the Hypnotic Spectre. Whenever it hits you, we discard a card at random. So I'm glad that's in the bin. So I guess we can guarantee forests by going for the Omen here. See, I could have gone for the Rejuvenator, but this looks at the top 5 and I don't want to miss. And I could have gone for the Rishkar, but I also don't want to just put one counter on a creature. I want to put multiple counters on creatures. So now they're going to go for Bolas. We discard the Bond, as they don't have any rocks. And now we get to resolve a Vivian Reed, which is pretty epic, because now we're going to plummet their Nicol Bolas.
Let's see if you're
So it's going to cost them 2 more mana to get him out, so it might be a while until we see him. Let's just hope they don't have a way to kill Vivian, because she is a supremely good value engine here. Fantastic green Planeswalker. Really sets the bar for 5 mana Planeswalkers, I think. Look at the top 4 cards. You may reveal a creature or land, put them into your hand. Very good. So of course they get the Bolas here, so they're probably going to destroy Vivian or not. So I guess we'll exile the Rejuvenator. So now we definitely need a way to kill the Bolas or we're in trouble here.
Come to me.
And Crawling Barons could be good. So how much is it to activate the Hydra? So we can hit Bolas for... We can hit Bolas for 4, but that's not quite enough. 4, 5, 6. Okay, what could we do? Maybe go for the Prowling Serpapard and then the Rishkar. If they have a board wipe, we are kind of screwed. So we just have to hope they don't have a board wipe here. Bolas followed by Bolas is pretty crazy, so we can just sack the Omen here, which is quite lucky. That's another benefit of those Omen cards. Nice sack fodder.
I cannot exploit.
Languish. Okay, so they definitely have the board wipe, which is unfortunate, because if we'd gone for the Lovestruck Beast, that would have been a different story. Let's uptick Vivian Reed here.
I've seen things that would break someone like you.
Okay, so haste is going to be good and it can't be counted as well. So let's go for the Shifting Ceratops here. Protection from blue. So we'll pay green to give it haste. Cast down. Sure, okay. So they basically have all the answers here. This is quite unlucky. Give an ability to a creature that doesn't exist. Nice. Okay, so pass to the opponent. They are probably going to win this game now. They've had the answer for literally all of our threats. And the fact that upticking just means how little they care about Vivian Reed. Hand is empty, which is good in case they've got any removal spells. So if they go for Bolas here, it's not as effective, but it is an annoying blocker. We do have the Vivian Reed for the Bolas, though. Chainer's Edict. Okay. And a Scarab Guard. Okay, yeah, pretty much doomed here. This just goes to show sometimes luck just isn't on your side.
You can't stop nature.
Hungering Hydra would be good if I could ever attack with it, but I doubt that's going to be possible. So best we can really do 4, 5, 6, 7. Activate Hydra for 6. I think. Yep. And annoyingly they can just block this. Going down to 1, that's interesting. So I guess they can just revive any of our creatures and then block with it the following turn, so... Yep, writing's on the wall now. The opponent doesn't even have to try, they can just play another land and then they can revive 2 creatures. And we're pretty much doomed. So there's no real point in me continuing this, as the opponent is now kind of in slow roll mode. So yeah, I'll be conceding the game. But yeah, we have clearly lost the game. They can kill our mana lands with their Ghost Quarter. They can revive anything. So yeah, moving on to the next game. Opponent goes first with Volo, Guide to Monsters. So there'll be a Simic cloney deck, I guess, looking for ways to get out lots of different creature types. So whenever you cast a creature spell that doesn't share a type with a creature you control or a creature in your graveyard, copy the spell. So if you build this deck, every type has to be different. Otherwise you're not really going to get much value. So yeah, we won't play the Florahedron until next turn. Hopefully it resolves. Oh, it's nice. Had a good day of testing today. Not faced many control decks. Vivian, okay. So she goes to... Oh, -2, okay.
Like a city brat.
Interesting. So the risk in that dying... could go in for it to try and kill it by putting 2 counters. Yeah, go on then. Let's put 2 counters on the Florahedron, so making this a threat. Swing at the Vivian. I've learned my lesson by not killing Vivians. So let's get that out of the way. If we had a 4-drop that was really good, it might have been worth getting rid of that. Okay, so now they think we don't have any removal, I guess. So let's pump up the Florahedron. 1, 2, 3. This is the strongest Florahedron you will ever have seen. But you know what? Sometimes you just gotta get the job done. The little Florahedron that could, hey? It's only 1/1 normally. Look at him, little cute little thing. Wall of Blossoms are. So his Reign of Terror is ended by a Wall of Flowers, which is 2 walls of flowers now. Okay, so now we're in some kind of orchard. What to do? Maybe we could go for the... There's a synergy between Incubation Druid and putting counter on it. I think we go for the Elves. And then... I think we'll go for Nylea. Yeah, I think that works. So, should make sure our creatures cost 1 less, which is going to be really nice. There's something to be said about the creatures you actually put in the deck, because obviously you want the pips to turn the Nylea online, but creatures with lots of green pips, they can't be discounted by her discount. So yeah, it's a very careful balance there. We have 3, 4, 5 green pips. If we go for Whenever another green creature enters, put a counter on Yorvo. Okay, so go for Yorvo first. This also does turn on Nylea, which is pretty awesome. 3 mana. So to optimize our mana, I think we go for Ranger class and then the Incubation Druid. This is pretty cool. Oh, it's sometimes playing mono green just feels feels lovely, doesn't it? I don't normally play them, but when I do, it feels great. I think the last mono green deck I made on the channel was a Ronus. That was quite a while ago now, but that felt amazing as well. Look at that, look. You can beat Simic with mono green, guys. You don't need blue. You don't need blue. Okay, opponent goes first with Yorvo, so they're a mono green deck. It's a bit odd because I feel like I've finally hit the space with this deck where I don't always face tier 1, and it's nice to actually just get a bit of variation to show viewers. So this is good. Only faced a few super power decks so far. Goose is going to be decent to get us some more ramp. We've got the Incubation Druid plus Inscription synergy. So we put a counter on it. It taps for 3 mana, which is quite cool. Do I really want to block? I don't think so. I'm not falling for that. They might have something like Giant Growth. Preserver. Okay, yep, so that would have killed our Goose. Sure thing. We've got 3 mana. I think we'll go for the Druid for now. And then, yeah, we'll pass a turn. Next turn we can spend 2 mana to get 3 mana back. Yorvo. Okay, so it's getting scary over there. So we can't block. Okay. So let's go for the 2 counters on the Druid. Okay, so now it taps for 3 mana. And then what else could we do? I kind of want to kill something. We've got 3, 4, 5 mana. Fight spells. Kind of, this just doesn't feel like quite enough to do anything too meaningful just yet. Vivian and Nylea is going to be good. Destiny Spinner. Maybe killing something would be good here. Or maybe don't be greedy and just go for 3, 4, a 4/4 Hydra. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I guess we'll do that for now and set up for the following turn. Hopefully they don't have a fight spell and hopefully we get another land. We still have 6 mana if we don't hit a land. But yeah, the Incubation Druid is pretty wacky with counters. If you can find a way to put a counter on it early, it's just... you can win the game pretty quick. We've even got the Vivian to put more counters and stuff. But we kind of want to do this around the same time we go for the Nylea, so we have a bit of protection for her. Otherwise she just gets slaughtered. Opponent might have the same issue that we do, in that all the green fight spells kill the user half the time. And also Hungry Hydra says, whenever it's dealt damage, put that many counters on it. So if 3 damage is dealt to the Hydra, it would go to 7. So this is a really cool spell with fight, creature with fight spells. Troll. Sure thing. I really want them to tap out here. Oh, fantastic. That's good news for us. So we're going to take a chunk. Down to 9, which is quite scary. We don't want to do the Sawtusk. We do want to go for Vivian, however.
Close your eyes. Breathe.
And
listen to the sounds of the wild.
We're going to put some counters, or maybe we could fight first. Or counters first. Double fight? Counters first or fight first? So it costs 1, it fights something that will go up, but then it can fight something else and it'll go up again. Maybe that's the thing to do. So Hydra fights the... Let's go for the Troll, because that's harder to deal with later on. That's a 7-4. And now we can have it fight the Pelt Collector. Oh wow, now this is going to be huge.
My aim and their claws, you're done.
Oh, that doesn't fight, does it? That doesn't fight. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, my mistake there. That one just does damage, so I should have actually killed the Yorvo there. That's a shame. Oh well, I misread that. I thought that was fighting. Goose. Okay, so the Preserver's getting a bit mental as well. If they spend more mana on that, making that huge, it's going to be tricky to deal with. Although we do have a Nylea as an indestructible piece of defense. Interesting. So, never had so many people quit so soon. Like, Nylea, it's a... I don't know what to say. It's just an aggro deck, I guess, but yeah. Sweet, so we go first against an Akiri Fearless Voyager deck. They're going to be a Boros aggro equipment build. It's really powerful, really cool. Do like this artwork in this card, very nice. Whenever you attack with one or more creatures, draw a card. And they can pay 1 to unattach an equipment from a creature. If they do, tap it and it gains indestructible. So it's basically regenerate, if you remember that ability. An old ability. Tangled Florahedron is nice to get a turn 4 play on turn 3. So I think we'll go for the Shifting Ceratops as be a decent blocker. If they give anything to the Hallowblade, we could kill it with the Gem Razor, or whatever they equip it with. Prison Realm. Okay. That's fine for now. Cavalier of Thorns would be a really good blocker as well. We're certainly making it hard for them. Faceless Haven's a nice land to get from that. Unfortunately it isn't green, so we can't fight it just yet, but Blade Historian. Okay. So they could just discard a card to make it indestructible. So yeah, I'll just take the 6 here. Damn, this is very aggressive. Very aggressive. Great Henge. Whoop-de-doo. Well, we could have just won the game from that. Fantastic. 3, 4, 5. We could even go for Nylea here. Yeah, let's go for Nylea. Sets up a really, really good blocker. Being indestructible, gain some life. And we even get the Prey Upon as well. What more could you ask for? And I will swing in for 5. Let's see if we've got an answer for our insane board. The other nice part now is, if we use Gem Razor on the Prison Realm, creature comes back in, triggers Great Henge. SRAM comes out. It's a pretty sweet build, actually. Yeah, that's a real shame, yeah. Sorry about the short videos, guys. I'm not really sure what's going on tonight, but hopefully you enjoyed the short games that I could capture. Cool. Until next time. If you enjoyed watching this video, why not try some of my other videos on my channel? And don't forget to support me by hitting the like and subscribe button for more content like this.